fine.
Gonna deal with that. Everybody hear me okay? My voice is a little weak, so. Ready?
Yep.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Bobby Berger. I'm from Twin Buttes on the Fort Worth Hope Indian Reservation. I'm here today to talk about climate change or global warming. The world you grew up in no longer exists. And repeat that. The world we grew up in no longer exists. What do I mean when I say that? Let's come back to that question here in a few minutes. Climate change and global warming is one of the most debated about and studied issues in the world. Are we humans responsible for it, or is it just a natural event? You really do not need to look very hard to see evidence of global change. There are more severe weather events going on now than ever before. Events such as record-breaking summer temperatures, strong spring and summer storms, such as tornadoes and hurricanes. These storms start earlier and earlier each year. The hurricanes are getting stronger, more frequent, and have devastated the Caribbean over the last 2 decades, along with the Gulf Coast, from the Gulf Coast, Texas to Florida. Loss of life and property damage are at a never-before-seen level. The winters, do I need to say anything about the winters? There's been record snowfall from Buffalo, New York to the Sierra Nevada this last winter. North Dakota itself actually almost broke a record that didn't stand very long. That in itself should tell you that there's a little bit of climate change going on there. All this change in the world temperature has only risen 1 degree over the last 100 years. 1 degree doesn't seem like much, but it is catastrophic to low-lying lands at or just above sea level. The melting of the polar ice caps is causing devastation to the wildlife that depend on the ice to live and hunt. Animals such as polar bears, seals, and walruses are all in danger of losing their natural hunting and roaming grounds. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia, the largest living coral system in the world, has lost 1/2 of its coral cover since 1985. A finding that has been reaffirmed by a 2020 study found that over half the reef's cover has been lost between 1995 and 2017. In March of 2015, the Australian government formed a plan for the protection and preservation of the reef until 2050. The 35-year plan, titled Reef 2050 Plan, is a pollution climate change. It's a document proposing measures for long-term management of pollution, climate change, and other issues that threaten the lifespan and value of global heritage. The plan contains all the elements for measurement and improvements, along with a long-term sustainability plan, water quality movement plan, and the investment plan for the protection and preservation of the reef until 2050. Which I thought was weird. They only want to save it until 2050. But it's a step. It's definitely a step. According to the world counts, one species in every 5 minutes goes extinct. We lose approximately 150 species a day. I repeat, the world we grew up in no longer exists. Okay, so boy, when you hear all this, climate change, polar ice caps, Great Barrier Reef, how does that affect us here, where we're from, where you're from? What significance does that have to do in your life? Probably none, right? So how does climate change and global warming affect us on a daily basis? What do we do? How do we get involved? What steps can we take? Unfortunately, there is no Native American studies on global change out there. Kind of disturbing, right? I mean, so we as the people need to get on the ball and let the firing change for all of our lands. Let's not wait for someone else to come along and create this change for us that they think is right for us, and not what we know is right for us. This will be a change for our communities. So when you think about, you have to follow a leader. And in this, there are really no leaders. I did find one. There are leaders out there like Chief Sherrill. She is from, I don't want to say the name because, dear God, I will, she's chalked off from Louisiana. The name is like 2 lines long. I'll try it out. Remember the Grand Caillou Dulac Band of Biloxi Chitimacha Choctaw. Okay. She is a leader in a critical climate task force. She's leading the way to protect her native lands and demanding policy change to protect human rights of 5 native tribes in Louisiana and Alaska. These are tribes that are affected directly from climate change. You know, they're right on the water, and they're the first ones that are going to get hit by it. We want to be proactive instead of reactive. Proactive, we got to be activists by protecting our land, which is our life source. We cannot think that just because the Great Barrier Reef is in Australia, it doesn't affect us, or the polar ice caps don't affect us here in the Great Plains. So with that, I would like to leave this little saying I thought was pretty good. It said that we live for 7 generations. Think about that. What we do will impact the next 7 generations. How do you guys want to be remembered?
Nice work. Sorry you were so ill.